What is going on, people inside that internet machine? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another pickup video. We're gonna rush this because Brett Hamilton called me today. He's like, you never post videos anymore. And I'm like, bro, I got one in the hopper, bro. I'm shooting a video tonight. Chillax. Your main man CM Retro's got you. Pow! So yeah, short video today. We only got a couple things and some game recommendations. I was hoping to pick some stuff up as garage sale season is starting to kick off a little bit. But in Ohio, we're still having those days where it's 30 degrees and then 10 minutes later it's 60 degrees and then by night it's minus 25. It is weird weather in March as always. And this is the weirdest March weather we've had in Ohio for a long, long time. I don't remember. Because it's like 60 one day, and then there was snow on the car Tuesday morning or whatever. Just insane. So yeah, real quick, right fast. Hope you guys pickups are going good. Hope you're ready for garage sale season. I am. Great friends of the channel, Adam and Bobbi. They were at the local game store, and they were like, hey, do you want any of these games or whatever? You're looking for any Nintendo games? Because they had a lot of Nintendo last year. There's a lot of games I kind of missed out on. So I started throwing out some names, and they're like, hey, there's this game here, and I'm like, cool. And so they sent it to me, and I sent them back a couple Xbox 360 controllers, which is awesome. You get that out of there, and they sent a note. And that note says, enjoy, Adam and Bobbi, which will stay with the game forever. They sent me a copy of Mystery Quest, which was on my list of Nintendo games that I needed from my childhood, but as I'm waving the game around, you probably already saw it, so the suspense is over. But it is Heavy Barrel, and what's crazy is there were some guys that played this last year. Megadan29 played through it, and I didn't realize what this game was. I'd never played this before. I didn't play it in the arcade game. I didn't know anything about Heavy Barrel for the gameplay right there. But apparently it's like a top-down, like a Akari Warriors, Commando type game where you're like moving forward and you're blowing stuff up. And the object, I guess, is to collect keys, which open these chests. And once you collect the 3 or 4 parts to the Heavy Barrel gun, which is the special gun, you can use the gun. Who knew that so much awesomeness lied in a little gray cartridge called Heavy Barrel from Data East? Top arcade hit, which is great. And yeah, so we look forward to playing this. I might want to fire this up within the next week or so. Do not clean with benzene, thinner alcohol, or other such solvents. What do you know, Nintendo? Kidding me? But anyway, Adam and Bobbi, thank you guys so much for sending this to me. I hope you guys enjoy those Xbox 360 controllers. And yeah, again, thank you so much. I don't know what number game this is, but I will add it right there. For my NES, how many NES games I have. So again, thank you guys so much. Before we get to this, okay, so last thing on that, Heavy Barrel was a game you used to see all the time for like $5, you know what I mean? But now it's like a $15 game, like all these $5 Nintendo games that you used to be able just to find anywhere. You could go into any game store at any time and find it. Now they're like crazy hard to find. So very thankful to have that in the collection for sure. But so one of our third shift dispatchers, and she's very nice, she said, hey, I got something for you. I have a Sega thing. Come down and get it. And I just happened to be getting off work at 11 and went down to main campus and went to our dispatch center. And she had this sitting out. Now, years ago, she told me a story that she really wanted a Game Boy because she wanted to play Tetris and Mario. And instead, she got this. And she didn't like it. So I fixed up a Game Boy, Nintendo Game Boy, cleaned it, took it apart, cleaned it, put it together, you know, all that stuff. Copy of Tetris, copy of Mario, there you go. And just gave it to her as a gift, you know, because that's what gamers do. We're nice to people all the time. We never cause drama. And finally she called or messaged me and said, hey, I got this, come pick it up. So I'm like, very, very cool. I was pretty sure I knew what it was, but when I saw the bag, I was like, oh, I remember that story that you got the thing that you didn't want. So very cool. Inside is a Sega Gamegear, but in the side pocket, are the manuals, which is hilarious to look through the manuals and more specifically, like the posters and the advertisements. Those are always great. I'll show those off at the end because I don't want to give away any of the games. But a very nice Sega Gamegear. Now it doesn't work, unfortunately. It's in very nice condition, but it doesn't work. It's got a bad screen on it, so I don't know if I can fix it. But it is a very nice condition. Sega Gamegear, there's very light scratching on this screen. So MT Shark may be getting a text message from me in the next couple of days saying, hey bro, can you fix my Gamegear? It does have sound, it does turn on, does have power. It just, the screen is all scratchy, you know. But it does have this awesome battery pack, which I don't have a battery pack like this. And I don't own a charcoal black, whatever color that is, Sega Gamegear. Has the power cable. Now this is also a Model 2, Sega Genesis Model 2 power cable, which is great because I think I need one of those for another console that I have. Also inside there were 7 games. Now 4 of the games I did not have, so we're adding those to the collection as my ring light switches off. Who wants to see my beautiful face? All of you do. There we go. Son of a bitch. All right, we'll put this down gently. Back away, easy. So 4 of the games I didn't have, we'll add those to the collection. The other 3 games I do have, but they weren't gifted to me. So I will swap these games out, get these physical, these actual games in my collection. I'll put the others in the doubles bin if anybody out there collects Sega Gamegear. But Sonic Chaos, Sonic 2, and Aladdin. Those are the games that I already have. But like I said, we'll swap those out and put those in the collection and we'll get our doubles out. The games that we'll be adding for sure. The Majors Pro Baseball. Joe Montana Football. Woo-wee! I actually kind of want to play this to see how this plays on the Sega Gamegear. The Bernstein Bears. What is this one called? They all have cute little subtitles, you know, like the Bernstein Bears Camping Adventure. That's not very a cute title, but they're always like the Great Honey Hunt Mystery, you know. And the best game in the lot, and I already beat it, but it is Sonic Blast, which I did not know was on the Gamegear. It's cool because like the manual and stuff are in the bag, so we'll add all of that to the collection. So Miss Candy Rader, Third Shift Dispatcher, thank you so much for hooking us up with the Gamegear. We're definitely going to get it fixed because like I said, I don't own one that color, I own the blue one, so that would be cool to have 2 working Gamegears. So if you're looking for good Gamegear content, check out Video Game Lover 58. Link will be in the description down below. So if you're hanging in there, thank you, I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get some pickups, man. I'm like so excited about garage sale season. It's that like a thrill of the hunt and, you know, get out there first, be aggressive about it. But let's talk about some game recommendations. What have you guys been playing? Leave a comment down below. The first game that I want to talk about is a Game Boy game. When I stop playing Super Nintendo, I'm watching something on Netflix or whatever. I've had a tendency recently to start popping in some more handheld games, which is great because I kind of overlook my handhelds. And there's a lot of great games on those systems, which are all great. But I saw this game and I was like, you know, I'll probably end up getting rid of it, but I want to play it before I kind of get rid of it. You know what I mean? And that game is Mole Mania. I don't really collect for the Game Boy. Okay, let me explain it this way. I love the Game Boy, I really do. I just don't collect for it. I like those games I had when I was a kid. Batman, Mario Land, Tetris, that kind of thing. And maybe a few others. But, you know, games like this is a Shigeru Miyamoto game, and it is kind of expensive. And I hate to say it this way because it sounds like very grim, but, you know, Shigeru Miyamoto isn't going to live forever. And sort of almost specialty items or the rarer games that he made or participated in are definitely going to go up in price, as we see that when any famous person dies, whether it's an athlete or, you know, an entertainer of some kind, a celebrity. When they die, unfortunately, prices of their stuff go up, and I don't expect Mole Mania to be any different. And I mean, to be honest, I would rather have a Nintendo game or a Super Nintendo game of that same price range in the collection than a Game Boy game that I'm gonna play once. But anyway, you're probably looking at the video footage up there. Mole Mania is a really cool game. It's a top-down sort of puzzle game where you are trying to save your family. There's 8 different worlds, and the gimmick, right? You move things around, you throw things across the screen. Is that because you're a mole? If there's something in your way, you can like burrow under the top plane onto the bottom plane underneath and work your way around and pop up out of the ground to get something to move to ultimately get to the next level. It is very, very fun. It's very, very addictive. However, it is very, very long. I want to say there's like 140 or 150 different stages in this game, and it just feels like it keeps going and going and going. You definitely get your money if you're paying $80 for a Game Boy game. You definitely get your money's worth at that amount of levels. But once you do it, once you beat the game, I played it on the Super Game Boy on my Super Nintendo to keep it 16-bit this year. But it's a very fun game. It's just a little expensive. If you can emulate it, definitely do so. If you're a hardcore Game Boy collector, you might want to pick it up now before Shigeru Miyamoto passes. Okay, so next game I want to talk about. This game almost caused a real problem in my life, okay? And it's not the game's fault, it's because I'm an absolute head case. It is F1 ROC Race of Champions on the Super Nintendo. So this is one of those games that I got in the Commons for Commons trade with Maxine's Bargain Box. It's like a $10 or $12 game. And basically I traded 2 Nintendo controllers that have been sitting in a box for years for this awesome F1 racing game. And as you're looking at the screen, it plays and looks like Mario Kart or F-Zero. So if you're familiar with that game, you have no problem with this game. It takes about 2 hours to beat. There's 16 races, and you can upgrade like your rear diffuser and your engine and your front wing. Add nitro to your car, you know. But if you finish first, you get 10 points. Second place, you get 9 points, so on and so forth, okay? If you don't win your first playthrough, the game starts over and you get to keep your upgrade. So it kind of makes the game easier as you go. And after the 16 races in the circuit, or the championship, if you have the most points, then you win, you go to victory lane, there it is. And that's all there really is to the game. Should take a couple hours to play through. So if you're looking for a game to beat this year because you're trying to do quantity of games, a 2-hour game, that's, you know, about as simple as it gets to beat the game. But that's not where the problem came in. I played this game and I was like, man, that was kind of fun. I want to learn more about this F1 thing. Hey, there's a Formula One show on Netflix, which is actually on the TV right now. It's on mute. And I was like, wow, this is so cool because of the way they edit the TV show, right? It's like really loud and intense and the in-car cameras. It's a very awesome show. So now I played an F1 game. I watched the show. I'm a goddamn expert on F1. So I'm thinking like, what video games do we have? We know they're on I got a PlayStation 3 one somewhere. There's the new one on PlayStation 4. And then I saw the video. How to build your own racing simulator rig for under $1,200. $1,200? We can do that now. We can sell Rule of Rose or Super Bowling on N64. We just pay for the whole thing. You know what? I'm gonna put a racing simulator right here. I'm gonna get rid of all of these games and I'm gonna be a professional online F1 driver. Guys, these thoughts went through my head, but I'm not buying cheap shit. I'm gonna buy some good shit. So I started doing research on racing simulator cabinets and monitors and pedals and wheels. This was a real thing. I told my son a couple weeks ago, like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting a driving simulator and like getting rid of all this stuff, right? Because I'm sure my wife would appreciate when I come home from work at 11 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock at night, at 1 o'clock. In my brain, it's like, we're not playing a video game, we're training. So we're gonna do training till 5 o'clock in the morning, sleep all day, no one's gonna get fed, grocery store's not gonna be going to, floors aren't gonna be swept, food's not gonna be made. My family will die, and then I will be in jail. All because I wanted a racing simulator, because I played this dumb Super Nintendo game. It's absolutely bonkers how like infectious F1 is, because I'm watching the series again, And I'll definitely get the game when it comes out. But man, I almost threw my whole life away. I almost went to jail over Formula One. Isn't that crazy? F1 ROC for Super Nintendo, $10, definitely $10 worth of fun, but don't ruin your life over video games, kids. Crazy town, legit. It's like for real. I was like, and I'm still, listen, I won't get a racing simulator this year, but it's still in there. Like we could do this with no problem. We could go buy that stuff right now. I don't even know where they sell it. Like where'd you buy a racing, like other than online, of course, because that's where I was looking. I don't know, Best Buy, Micro Center. There's probably some on Facebook Marketplace. Anyway, last game recommendation for the episode. Like if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see when I beat some of these games, I'll post like end screen shots and high scores and give my thoughts on these games. This is a game. I mean, I can't believe I've never played this game before in my life. Past like level 1 because I was cleaning it and testing it. But it is Super Castlevania IV. Incredible. Looks great, sounds great. There's a little bit more control with the whip and the jumping, but what I didn't understand was that it's supposed to be like a remake. Playing through this game, I wouldn't have gotten that impression because I don't read the story, of course. You know what I mean? The levels are different than the first game. I don't know if there's like some key story about this game that I'm missing, but yeah, like I said, it plays great. It's a really, really awesome game. Sounds great. I love the remixes of Vampire Killer and Bloody Tears. And it doesn't get Castlevania hard until like the last third of the game. You know what I mean? And that last third, that's when you kind of have to use the right weapons and remember where the enemies are and all the little traps and gimmicks. So I beat the game. And then the next day I beat the game again with using less continues, and then I beat the game. I had made dinner, I beat the game again. I think I used like 2 or 3 continues, and to be 100% honest, at that point it was because I missed a jump, or I didn't whip and grab onto something correctly, or I forgot that there was gonna be an enemy that spawned as soon as I jumped that knocked me back into the pit. So those are my fault, you know what I mean? It's not the game's fault. It's just fun to play, you know what I mean? Like it's just a great game, and it's fun to play. I'll definitely go back to that one. But I think I like 3 and then 1 and then that game as far as the 2D Castlevania game. So if you've got your top 3 Castlevania games, leave a comment down below. Any classification, 3D, Metroidvania, 2D side scrollers. What are some of your favorite Castlevania games? Leave a comment down below. But Super Castlevania, man, what a game! I understand why some of you say it's the best game of all time. Don't know if I'm willing to subscribe to that yet. But it is a super fun game for sure. All right, everybody. So a little light pickup video with some game recommendations. Thank you to Adam and Bobbi again. Thank you to our dispatcher, Candy Rader. And yeah, go play some games, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Don't forget to bang that notification bell. Because that really does help out a lot. And take care of yourselves. We'll see you on the next one.